People of the internet. As always, folks, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's topics. This comes from CBS News. It's a story about a concept that I haven't heard before. Of course, nowadays we've been hearing about quiet quitting and quiet hiring and all this extra stuff that came with this new workforce and things that are happening within the economy and just the jobs in general. So I came across a new term that I actually wasn't familiar with before. It's called glossing, workplace glossing. It made me think, what exactly is it? And have I been guilty of workplace glossing? Let's pull this video up. Again, this comes from CBS News. What is workplace glossing and how can companies prevent the toxic habit? See what this video is talking about.
If you've ever felt like you are in a dumpster fire, but everyone around you is smiling and feels really unfazed by the chaos, you might have experienced something called glossing. According to Business Insider, glossing is, quote, a form of toxic positivity in which people suppress and deny their negative emotions. She's a clinical psychologist and associate professor at NYU Langone Health. It is great to be with you. It's so much fun to talk about this topic of glossing. But I have to confess to you, I've always believed in the idea of fake it till you make it, even if things seem like they are rough right now. Smile and the world will smile with you. Why is that maybe some bad advice?
Well, I think we're starting to realize the more you suppress the reality or you suppress the emotions that you're actually experiencing, the more stress you're going to experience. And it can lead to higher rates of burnout. So it's really important, I think, to have more of a radical honesty approach to work and to our relationships where, yes, we want to appreciate and practice gratitude and think about the things that are going well. But it's really important also to highlight and identify the things that might not be going great. And if your leadership is saying to you, everything is fine, but you're experiencing a different reality, it's really important to talk about those things and look at it like any other relationship. We need collaboration, we need communication, we need to have tough conversations. And so it's really important in making our relationships to work better as well.
Pause right there. Very interesting, man. I have my thoughts. Take that with a grain of salt. Again, folks, the term is called glossing. Talk about glossing at the workplace. Again, glossing is defined as a form of toxic positivity in which people suppress and deny their negative emotions. Man, oh man, can I relate? So for example, you're going to work, perfect example. This is probably happening to you right now. You're going to work, whether you're working from home or you're in the office, whatever the case is, and let's say you saw something on the news, pick anything. Pick anything these days. You saw something on the news that upset you. It really made you mad. You're very passionate about whatever this topic was that you just saw on the news before you came into work. But here you are now at work, having to act as if nothing is wrong. You're not bothered, nah. All is well. Let's continue to talk about the subject matter, or whatever the subject matter is that's in your role or your office place, whatever the case. So let's do that with a smile and with grace. And let's just ignore the things that are happening in this world that are maybe causing you a little bit of anxiety, causing you a little bit of stress. Sometimes it's not even things that you're seeing on the news. Sometimes it's things that are happening in your household, in your own household, in your personal life. We are trained and encouraged to leave that at home. Don't bring that in the workplace. It's all positive vibes here. So under that definition, folks, you would be considered as somebody who has had to gloss. You were glossing in that situation. You were glossing over the true negative emotions that you truly feel. And you come into work, and you act as if all is okay. And then sometimes, I think the example that he even gave in his video as well, too, was sometimes the workplace is chaotic. So maybe it's a dumpster fire, as they usually say, at the workplace. But all is well. You got to wear it with a smile. Maybe sales are down. Maybe your boss is, drilling on you because she's getting or he's getting, correspondence from up above, whatever the case is. Maybe it's just a stressful environment at work. And you still got to sit there with a smile on your face and take it all in. All is well. No problems. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Team spirit. That would be considered glossing by this definition. I wasn't aware. Speaking for myself, folks, the reason why I chuckled towards the end and I said take it with a grain of salt is because the lady actually encouraged you to speak on that matter with your manager. I don't know. I think she was saying maybe it's a positive balance of remaining positive, but making your manager aware of how you feel, whatever the case is? I don't know. In my personal experience, folks, of course, being somebody that's currently employed now, who can resonate with this 110%. A lot of the times, I'll honestly say that it is disheartening, or it is discouraging, or it is a blower when your outside world, the happenings of your outside world, whether it be, again, the things that you see on news, whether it be the things that are happening in your personal life, whatever the case is, when there's negative emotions that you're going through outside of work. But every day when you open up your laptop or you go into the office, you got to act as if none of that is even happening. Smile and put your best foot forward. And it's a gray area because, yes, that's what you're called to do. That is your job. They just want you to do what your role is that you do at your job. So from a corporate standpoint, yeah, you better. But from a human standpoint, right? From an emotional standpoint, of course, we do like to think logically as opposed to emotionally, but let's keep it real. From an emotional standpoint, it could be hard, very hard, to act as if all is well, whether it is at the workplace itself, act as if all is well when truly it isn't, act as if all is well at work when truly it isn't, act as if, you love the subject matter that's being discussed, or the people, the management, people, co-workers, this, that, and the other. Come to work with a smile, man, although the outside happenings of your life could be going down the drain. That is considered glossing. And I think we all been guilty of it. My advice, if you ask me, I feel like, of course, people are going to maybe handle this a little bit differently. If you ask me, folks, I would say do your very best. If you got to take the time off, take the time off. If you got to take a mental health day, take a mental health day. If you have that type of rapport with your manager, tell your manager straight up, hey, man, I'm probably not really feeling it. Of course, use these wisely. I'm not saying this should be a weekly thing. Something that you do every single week or every single day. No. But honestly, if I'm you, especially in the times that we're going through right now, where layoffs are still happening, people struggling to find jobs, cost of living is raising, hold on to that job if you can, if you must. Do your best to keep your emotions and the outside difficulties of the world, do your best to keep those at the door, man, because it would suck and be rather unfortunate if an emotional state caused you to lose your financial stability, right? For you and yourself, whether you got kids, your family, your household, whatever the case is, it'll suck to let one bad day ruin months or years of work at a workplace, whatever, because you're fed up. And this is advice. I probably needed this advice this week myself, honestly, because this week was a shitty week for me. Just like emotionally, as I said, of course, earlier, it was a lot for me this week. And again, nothing too detrimental, nothing too crazy. But emotionally, just mentally, I just wasn't feeling up to par for anything, honestly. But I'm happy because I was still able to push through. Of course, I do work from home, so there is a luxury of working from home. Whereas, there's maybe not as much human interaction and you can kind of take some time to breathe, whatever the case is. That's always a blessing. But for those of us that report to a job, we have to go into the office. Shout out to the people that work at Amazon, who, of course, I just heard news that Amazon is forcing all their employees back into the office 5 days out the week. Whew. Couldn't be me, man. God be with you. But if you have a job right now where it is required of you to show up to work multiple days out the week, 3 to 5 days out the week, and you're unable to necessarily leave those things at the door, man, I can understand the difficulty and having to deal with glossing, right? But honestly, in my personal opinion, I would say take the time. You have PTO for a reason. You have sick days for a reason. If you feel like you're not up to it or work is annoying you, or even if these are problems that are happening within the workplace, let's say the workplace right now, again, I don't know what industry you work in, sales are down or upper management is on your back or whatever the case is. If it's a dumpster fire at the workplace, it'll probably be best that you still do your best to maintain a positive attitude because, again, you don't want one emotional day to ruin the financial livelihood of you and your family. But that's just my thoughts, folks. What are yours? Down in the comment section. Are you going through glossing right now at the workplace? I want to believe that a good chunk of us are. Let's just keep it real. I want to believe that a good chunk of working adults, even these Gen Zs, we always say Gen Z doesn't want to work and Gen Z has attitudes and this, that, blah, blah, blah. Gen Zs are interested people in the workplace. But I want to believe that a lot of us, ever since the pandemic, Ever since 2020, man, work has looked different for a lot of people. Again, working from home and things that are, more tolerated, and then, it being favored to the employers, and then, one day it's favored to the employees, this, that, and the other. Who has the power, who has the control in these corporate spaces? I want to believe all of us at one period or another have gone through glossing. And my advice would be that you continue to gloss for the time being. Because again, it's a little bit hard out here. It's a little bit scary out here. I do know a few friends, colleagues, people out there who are currently not working or looking to change their jobs or find new roles, whatever the case is. And it's not as easy. We're hearing about ghost jobs and recruiters, calling people and setting up interviews just to maintain a quota, but honestly, not even having any true intentions of hiring anybody. That could be frustrating as well too. So those are just my thoughts, folks. Again, I had never heard of the term before. But it made me think, of course, when I saw the title, and I wanted to share that with you guys as well too. Glossing at the workplace. Again, being overly positive in situations that are indeed are toxic or that you're over, whatever. Those are my thoughts. Of course, I want to hear yours down in the comment section below. As always, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. I will catch you on the next one.